A broken link doesn't have to be the end of a visitor's journey. In fact, with the right 404 page, it can turn into a moment that saves the visit or even makes someone smile. In this video, I'll show you how to set up a 404 page in Onepage, whether you stick with the default version or create your own fully customized page. Here's what we're going to be covering today. First, what a 404 page is and why it's important. Second, how to define a 404 page in Onepage and the 3 available options. Next, we'll show you how to create your own custom 404 page with a brief walkthrough. Fourth, design and copy tips for an effective 404 page. And then finally, some tips and tricks. So let's start by understanding what exactly a 404 page is. A 404 page appears whenever a visitor tries to access a URL on your site that doesn't exist, usually from an outdated or broken link. Instead of a confusing blank screen, the visitor sees 404 error, page not found. So why does this matter? It prevents user frustration and keeps people on your website. It guides visitors back to content that matters. It improves overall user experience and reflects professionalism. And if done creatively, it can also reinforce your brand. Now that you know why 404 pages are valuable, let's jump in on how to actually create one in Onepage. Okay, so first we need to define the 404 page in Settings, and then we can go to General, and then we see 404 page here. There are 3 ways to do this. You can activate Onepage's default 404 page, which it's already set to. It appears automatically if no custom page is assigned. It's simple but functional, and let's see what the default looks like. So all we're going to do is go back to our site, and then we'll land here on the landing page. I'm just going to put /pricing because I know that this page does not exist. And then we get brought to the 404 page. So this looks good as is, right? It's clean, it's informative. It also provides the user with a button to go back to the main page. Now, the next way is to use your homepage or an existing subpage, which is not really recommended. So I'm going to show you how this will look. If we go back to Settings and then go back to General and 404 page, we can easily just redirect our users to the podcast page, which is the homepage, if they land on a bad link. But keep in mind here, automatically redirecting to the homepage might seem clean, but it's not recommended from a technical or content perspective. It's much better to create a clear and helpful 404 page instead. Okay, so now for the third and the most ideal option, you can create your own custom 404 page. This page is fully customizable and branded like any other Onepage page. All you need to do is create a new page, give it a clear title like 404 or page not found, and publish it. Some suggestions for content on this page could be funny text or illustrations, a link button back to the homepage, a contact option, or even maybe a small animation or illustration. And always make sure that this page matches the style of your website, and by the end of the step, your visitors will land on a helpful branded page instead of hitting a dead end. So let me show you how we would do this. We'll get out of Settings here and then go to create a new page on our site. We'll start from scratch. We'll name this 404 not found. Ideally, you would want it to say just /404, but we'll go from here. So let's go ahead and add a couple of these blueprint sections so that we can add our text and some images. So we have 3 sections added there. And then another really nice thing I could do is add one of my global sections. So I can add my menu, and then I can also add the footer. So let's rearrange these. We'll put the menu up here at the top and then the footer down at the bottom. And then now we have space for the content here. So we have our menu up here and then we also have our footer down here. Super easy to add those thanks to the global sections. So now let's design it a little bit. And let's take a look at the podcast site that we have. So it says start listening to the Productive Podcast Show. We have some really nice visuals. We have some episodes that users can watch about the Productive Podcast Show. So I want our 404 page to be in line and on brand with the rest of our site. So we'll put here some text, we'll put some header text, and I'm just going to say 404 this page needs a productivity coach. I can make this text larger, can make it more aligned, and then for the text underneath it, I can also put a header. It's probably off procrastinating somewhere. Meanwhile, here's a podcast episode to get you back on track. So we have a heading, we have some description text to give some users some context. And then in this last section, we could have a button. So we could put button, say, take me back. And then this could link back to the homepage. We could add another button that says, watch the latest episode. So we would have some helpful links here, right? So maybe I move this down here. We'll fix the spacing so that it's closer. And then we could add a really cool animation. So this is a podcast website. So we could add a section. Let's just do blueprint. And then that got placed below the footer. So we'll just slide this up. I'll put it above the header. And in this section, we'll put an image. So I have a fun GIF that I could put in here. So I can close up this spacing. Okay, so far we have a really fun image that they land on. We have some context on what kind of page this is and that they're not at the right page. And then also some funny tags. It's probably off procrastinating somewhere since it is a productivity podcast. And then 2 links to either take them back to the homepage or we would link them to our episodes tab. And then since we have, meanwhile, here's a podcast episode to get you back on track. Here we could add a new section with a video. So we could put this here. We'll rearrange that. And then here we could link to our most recent video or one of our favorites. So let's see what this looks like. And remember, you must have this page published or it will not work for your users. So let's take a look at it. This is our 404 not found. Okay, and then we landed on our page. So we have our really nice animation. We have our menu up here so they can also navigate that way. We have some context. This page needs a productivity coach. It's probably off procrastinating somewhere. We have a video that we could link. And then we also have our links to bring the user back. And then we also have our footer, which is really nice. So tons of ways that they can get back to where they need to be. And we could also convert them into watching one of our podcast episodes. So now that we have this 404 page made, all we would have to do is go back to our settings and then go to 404 not found, save changes. And then if we go back to our live site and we try again /pricing, which does not exist, we're taken to our custom 404 page. Super easy, super simple. You can customize this however you'd like. You can make it really silly, really fun, whatever aligns best with your brand. Now let's talk about design and copy tips for a great 404 page. When designing your 404 page, keep these elements in mind. Clear error message. Sorry, this page cannot be found, or something playful. Brief explanation of why the visitor landed there. Helpful links. Homepage, contact forms, or popular pages. Optional contact methods so that users can report broken links. Another tip, keep the tone light and match your brand personality. A well-designed 404 page doesn't just guide users, it can actually make them smile. Now for some tips and tricks. To make your 404 page even better, don't index the 404 page. Onepage handles this for SEO. Avoid redirecting to the homepage. This prevents soft 404s. Keep URLs short to reduce typo errors. Regularly check external links in blog posts or collaborations. Use Google Search Console to monitor 404s. A funny or creative page can keep users engaged and encourage them to continue exploring your site. So, let's recap what you've learned. What a 404 page is and why it's essential. The 3 ways to set up a 404 page in Onepage. How to create and customize your own branded 404 page. Key design, usability, and SEO tips. With your new 404 page live, your site is not only more professional, but also more user-friendly, catching visitors even when they think they hit a dead link. Try creating your own 404 page in Onepage today. Even a small touch of personality can turn a dead end into a memorable user experience. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to the Onepage channel for more helpful tutorials like this one.